Hey, what's up, guys? So, in this video, I want to touch on some topics that I have discussed in the past. Some of them going back many years of my older videos where I mentioned things that many people at the time told me I was crazy for or completely incorrect about. And in this video, I just want to reflect back on some of those things and let you guys know now that the information has been revealed, and it turns out that I was right about everything for the most part all along. Okay, so what was once considered wild, outlandish conspiracy theory is now actual fact, proven. All right, so in addition to that, I'm going to just give you guys some of my general thoughts on the way the world is going. So the first thing I'm going to touch on is the most obvious and the most relevant to our time now. All right, going back a couple years ago, many of you who follow me will know a lot of my videos were deleted, okay, from multiple platforms, and I was deemed as giving medical misinformation or just in general, for whatever reason, hate speech a couple times with regard to my opinions on the whole entire pandemic, all right? So from the beginning, I told you guys this whole thing was a lab-created virus. I told you guys that these vaccines did not work. They were very harmful for you. I told you guys that masking didn't work. I have videos fighting the police about it in regular stores where they were acting like I was fucking trying to kill people for not wearing a mask. It was just unbelievable, all right? So that's all coming out now. I also told you guys that this was all about power, all a big manipulation move, and ultimately had nothing to do with anyone's health. I mentioned to you guys also that they're going to ultimately try to mandate annual vaccines, which they're currently doing right now. All right. So I also told you guys that there is an ulterior motive behind all of this. I mentioned the World Economic Forum many times. I spoke of Klaus Schwab. I spoke of his school of future world leaders many times, all right, and told you guys what's happening, that we were intentionally being destroyed as an economy, all right? If you look around, just use your own logic, okay? For those of you that are not old enough, you may not understand this, but for those of you that have lived through the technological change as I have, where we lived and experienced and know life prior to the internet, prior to these devices, cell phones, and can now reflect back. Just think. Average town, suburbia, USA, compared to what it is now, right? There were small businesses in abundance all over this country. There were independent entrepreneurs of all sizes, all different types of businesses, many unique to their own. And now, basically, they're all gone. Right? They've been replaced by these giant conglomerate corporations, billionaire owned for the most part, and it was done intentionally. They have destroyed small businesses to the point where I can't even, this is maybe shocking to many of you, even McDonald's is in my area are now not even open 24 hours a day anymore, maybe only on a Saturday, okay? Fast food places are closing down even. I can't even get a slice of pizza for my kids after 9 o'clock on a Friday night. Everything's closed. There are vacancies all over the place. They manipulated the housing market to the point where people are so over leveraged now that they're upside down on their loans, not only for their mortgages, for their vehicles, credit cards, everything. Right? They have devalued the currency by printing an unbelievable amount of money in the trillions, again, intentionally, all right? I told you guys also recently that you're going to have some issue with banking. To remove your money from the banks, that there's going to be some type of seizure, false flag, whether it be some kind of hack, some kind of, technical EMP attack, or whether it be the banks themselves no longer being able to maintain solvency and declaring that they are required to do this bank bail-in, whereas they will seize all deposits, including safety deposit boxes. And the FDIC recently came out stating that most Americans are very wrong about their assumptions of what is actually insured by the federal government, FDIC branch in particular, with regard to deposits. All right? So you can look into all this stuff for yourself. I have so many things that I can discuss in this video that I'm going to try to just keep it as short as possible. So we have also evolved into a complete police state for the most part. You see police shooting and killing unarmed people often now, and no consequence to them. So they're raising pricing on everything. They're mandating things to intentionally decimate people's savings and the value of their purchasing power with the currency, and they are ultimately going to a digital currency, which is what's currently being discussed now, where they will track and monitor everything, everywhere you go, every dollar you spend, every interaction you have. This whole push for electric cars and climate change discussions are all bullshit. Climate change just in itself is bullshit. And if you think back to the main reasons and justifications for so many of these drastic measures that have occurred over the last 10 years or so, they're all invisible monsters. Climate change, COVID-19, going back years, bird flu, swine flu, was bullshit. All these things are either non-existent psychological ploys, mass deception through media, or they are just problems that were actually created by these same people, controllers, and then they come in with the convenient solution. I spoke about the war in Ukraine and told you guys that everything you're being told about the reasons why this is happening is a lie. That Vladimir Putin is not the fucking bad guy that they're depicting, but in fact, he's only defending and asking that deals that were made with the United Nations be honored. That's it. Okay? So there are so many things that are happening out there that people are just in general unaware of. All right? History in itself that we've been taught is a fucking lie. So almost all of it. Almost all of the mainstream news are liars as well. The media companies are owned by the same fucking people for the most part. And we have been tricked into self-monitoring and self-divulging of our own personal information through social media, okay, where they're doing content gathering of everyone, and through the cell phones and technology. Many of you may not know, but if the government's plan was to ultimately have a tracker on everyone at all times and a listening device and a camera, they have it. And they have it through us on our own, voluntarily buying these fucking devices, knowing that they're recording you, they're monitoring all your emails, all your texts, they have access to your cameras. And for those of you who may not think this is true, look into a program called Pegasus. Pegasus is a program created by the Israeli government and is now being utilized by so many nations and even being sold to independent corporations where they used to have to send you a link, an email, something where you had to click and there had to be an interaction for you to be infected, your device to become infected. All right? No longer is that the case. So now they can just get into it through this Pegasus and every single thing is there, viewable by them. Every password, every photo, every text, email communication, everything's recorded. All your voice calls, voice messages are retained and saved. Everything. All of your web browsing history, all of your comments, it's all there. I told you guys also that we're being silenced. Freedom of speech is no longer a reality for us. You could see quite clearly that they're creating laws to shut people like me up, to shut up anyone who is not playing along with their narrative. I told you guys that they have intentionally destroyed the quality of people in this country through the decimation of the family unit, all right? Where there used to be shame in having children out of wedlock, having children with multiple partners. There is no longer any shame whatsoever. Now you just be as fucking defective as you want and you're fine. You're accepted. You're loved. You're better off that way than being, like myself, more of a traditionalist. Okay, so they have programmed us through television. I spoke about this in a couple of videos. It's television. They are telling you their vision. All right? It's not called television entertainment shows. They're television programming. You've been programmed through everything. Through the radio, songs, television, every media corporation and platform out there. You're being brainwashed. You've been brainwashed to the point now where people don't even realize, don't even think something's way off here. Something is way off. And an easy example for you to know this is, as far as them dumbing people down and keeping them entertained and basically in a state of stupidity where they're not aware of what's actually happening, you know, just like in ancient times with the Romans, they put on these shows with the gladiators and circuses. All that bullshit was always done to just placate the masses and keep them quiet. Look at our current state now. We live in a world where people can work hard their entire lives and have nothing to show for it. Nothing. They're barely getting by. We have come to a point where some of the smartest people in the world get no recognition. Actually gets shut up and silenced. Some of the best quality people as far as character and morality and kindness don't matter. No one looks to that. No one cares. We are being plagued and bombarded with imagery that is negative, with terminology that is negative, with pornography. Now it's acceptable for any female to post naked pictures of themselves. They're encouraging women to go on these platforms and do nude webcamming and thinking it's okay. They're telling them, oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. They're poisoning our kids' minds in school with all kinds of sick deviancy. I pulled my kids out of school years ago, my 3 daughters. They'll never go back because I see it for what it is. But going back to what I said about them entertaining you, think about this. Compared to the ones I mentioned, those that are the hardest workers, the best, the smartest in any field, doctors, scientists, whatever it may be. And then consider this. There are people, so many, that for a living play catch and run, throw a ball, all right? They're playing a fucking game. Pick whatever game you want. Basketball, football, soccer, base, whatever. And some of these people, many of them, are getting over $100 million a year. Think about that. That's $2 million a fucking week to play catch. Because you can run fast, jump high, catch a ball, throw a ball. Does that sound logical to you? Why the fuck would any person pay another that kind of money when there's so many of them, not just one, that are making millions of dollars a week, so many multiples? How could that be? There's your proof right there. There's your proof. That's what they're putting their emphasis on. That and the programming, the reality TV, all the bullshit dramas. It's just poison. It's poison. They're actually doing away with certain books. They're censoring in every way. Okay? They're deleting our actual history. That is a whole other video in itself. They've lied to us about everything when it comes to the history. Our own history as a people. There's just so much I can go on and on and on about. All right, so I just want to make this video not to gloat. I don't want to be right. I wish I was wrong about all this stuff. I really do. This is not the world I want to live in. But this world is fucking turned into shit. The United States is no longer even independent. Who the fuck are we listening to? Why are we listening to the World Economic Forum? These fuckers that meet in Davos once a year and fly in on their private jets and talk about climate change and talk about, you know, taking away gas engines and gas stoves and hookups for people's homes and converting everything to electricity and how much pollution we're all expending. They want to track everything. I told you guys also they're going to end up trying to push a UBI, Universal Basic Income, that they're going to give to the people because the jobs have been destroyed. The manufacturing has been sent overseas. Robotics are now coming in. AI is now a very, very significant problem, especially with the latest release of Chat GPT. It's unbelievable the ramifications of that have yet to be seen. So people have nothing to do. There's no work for them. There's no way to earn a reasonable living, whether you want to or not. Everyone's just going to be given this money, and it's going to have an expiration date on it, where if you don't spend it in 30 days, for example, your account balance will revert back to zero. They're going to say it's to stimulate the economy. So once that all happens, once the cash is removed, we're fucked. We're tracked everywhere. We're already tracked everywhere now. That's another part of why they want electric cars, because they could shut you down at any moment. They have the ability to flip a switch and turn off your vehicle. So just think about these things I'm telling you guys. There's so much of it. So much. I know you guys asked me, so many of you, for more videos and more content. I don't even know where to begin when it comes to this particular video of things that I've spoken about that I was told I was wrong, I was evil for saying, I'm fucking racist, I'm hateful, whatever. That turns out to be correct now. All of it is available. It's all there if one would invest the time and effort into researching and stop falling under the trap of this mass psychosis where everyone has been dumbed down to the point where the average person has no fucking idea what's coming. And I've mentioned also that there's going to be another wave of this pandemic, this invisible monster again. They're going to say it's much worse, and it's coming soon. All right, it's coming soon, along with a new vaccine, of course, that they're looking to give you. By the way, about the vaccines, they're now declaring that they're not effective. They were not effective from the beginning. They've lied about the origin of the whole virus in the first place. And, you know, it's harmed a lot of people. It's killed a lot of people. It's all coming out now. It's all happening. People were saying I was so wrong for not getting myself and my family vaccinated. Who's wrong now? Think. What the fuck has happened? What has happened? I just can't believe that the world I live in is one in which so many people, the majority, are fucking blind. You're fucking blind to this shit that's happening. All right? Human beings were not meant to suffer in the way that we are now. We're being imprisoned even for things that are ridiculous, where there's actually no crime. People are being put away. They're silencing people. They're killing people. They're deplatforming people. They're canceling people, they call it. It's just crazy what's happening now. And who are these people that are dictating the direction that we go? As I mentioned, it's no longer United States as an independent entity and nation, powerful, superpower nation. It's not. We're being led by these guys at the World Economic Forum, these billionaires, none of which are elected officials. Zero. I made a video saying that Bill Gates may be the most evil fucking person alive. Not literally, he's one of them. There's many of them. He's not even a fucking doctor. He's not a virologist. He has nothing to do with medicine. And he's a fucking computer programmer. And yet, we're listening to him. He's the one giving direction on all of this. It's an unbelievable impact it's had on our lives. So just think about your quality of life and what the fuck it's become. People are now degenerate. For the most part, they're not good people anymore. Everyone's become brainwashed and influenced to the point where they're actually fucking horrible people. They're all about themselves. They're so fucking self-centered. They gauge their own, value through social media, putting pictures up that are fucking enhanced and all kinds of fake shit, and waiting for random strangers to give them a thumbs up or to give them a like. And that's how they're, validating themselves. It's unbelievable what's happened. It's very important you guys give this some thought. We are being led straight into the fucking fire. We are being destroyed. And the worst is yet to come. I hate to say it. I hope something happens to change this. I hope that, again, I'm wrong. I hope this is not all going to become reality, but it is. And it's happening very, very fast. They have destroyed us as people, as a nation, as an economy, our currency, our savings, everything, our health, through mRNA, DNA altering vaccines, so much stuff. They've lied to us about everything, about the reasons they've gone to wars. They've lied to us about the reasons why we're being hurt so badly with regard to climate change and bullshit like that. It's all garbage. It's all garbage. And they've somehow convinced everyone to take these fucking poison shots that weren't even tested properly, that if anyone looked into themselves would know are harmful. So again, guys, I wish this wasn't the case. I wish I couldn't make this video. I wish what I was telling you was in fact a lie. But for those of you that are interested, they didn't erase all my stuff, but they deleted a lot of it. You can go back and check it out. You can look and see. Watch my videos. See, look, read the comments at the time. Some of them go back years, 6, 7 years even. And see, the narrative has changed. It's all part of a big plan, and we're the suckers. We're the losers in this whole thing. All right? So I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you can give some thought to the things I've said. And again, I can go on and on for hours. I have so much more that I can discuss, but I'm going to just keep to myself for now. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Please comment, and I appreciate all of your support greatly. You'll never know how much it means to me. So thank you all, and I'll talk to you next time.